League of Legends. Yes, that's right. You've seen this video already. It's a bit unordinary for me. I usually don't talk about League of Legends in any of my videos. This is actually the first time I'm actually ever making a video about League of Legends. Now, before I continue, I have played League in the past. I haven't played it for that long. I literally think that I started like actually trying to get into the game about a year and a half ago. And I'm fucking terrible at the game. And I know it. Like, I tried for like 6 months to try and like be decent, but I'm ass, bro. I acknowledge that I'm dog shit. Like, it's fine. It's fine. I don't even play ranked anymore because I just gave up on that shit because I knew how fucking dog shit that I was. But I fucking love the esports. Like, honestly, to me, League of Legends is probably the only video game out there that I actually rather watch than play. Like, I'm not joking. Every other fucking video game, whenever I've watched Pro League, like, I enjoy it somewhat, but it's just like, oh man, I actually would rather be playing this. Maybe not CSGO so much. I guess I could put CSGO a little bit in that bracket, but like, I don't really engage too much with CSGO. Like, I've watched it here and there, but mostly every other game, like if I've ever watched 6 Pro League, or, you know, when Overwatch Pro League was actually popping off back in the day. I think they came out with the recent news that it's actually ending or some shit like that. I don't really know, but like, I would always rather just fucking play it. I'm just like, man, I'd rather be playing this. Even like Apex, like I enjoy the Apex Pro League, but I'm like when I watch it, I'm like, man, as much as I'm enjoying this, I'd rather fucking play it, bro. Like, honestly, I'd rather play it. But League is just like a whole different level. And I think it's because it's probably, like, I would argue that it is easily the hardest game, like, out there right now, or maybe even ever, to like, that's at least a PvP competitive game that it is to get like extremely good at. Like, to get good at League, you have to put so many fucking hours in that game, which is why there's no like people who are a challenger and they're just casuals at the game, or they kind of hop in and out of the game, you know, where like other like first person shooters, you can probably get the highest rank in the game and you can probably play other games in the meantime, you know, like even with me. And when it comes to like Apex and R6, like I'm not like getting the highest rank, but Apex I've gotten diamond a few times. R6 played rank for the first time this season, made it to plat. So like, you could obviously get there, but when it comes to League of Legends, it's just a different fucking animal, which I think it is why it is so enjoyable to watch. Now, obviously, I'm a professional yapper, so I've been yapping on for a long time. And I'm obviously making this video about fucking Faker. And the whole entire world, really, that's been going on. Because, man, this Worlds this year has been so fucking fun to watch. Like, a lot of people, it was the first time that they ever tried out that Swiss stage. And I don't really know the general consensus on like if people really enjoyed it or not, because personally for me, I think that like the Switch stage actually went extremely well. I really fucking liked it. The fucking dude, the referee who was just staring into the camera the whole fucking time, just like as he picks out each team, just no fucking emotion whatsoever, was the best shit. After every single like stage of Swiss would end and then they pick out the next teams for the next stage. That was so fucking fun to watch. And I think it was the last day where they got Barrel out as well, who's like support for DRX, and he was in the he won Worlds last year, and they got him to come out and he was sitting in his chair and they like gave him like a hat, which apparently is like handing the torch to someone. And it was fucking fun to watch. And then like, you know, the fact that LPL got all 4 teams that qualified for Worlds into the quarterfinals, LCK got 3, and then obviously NRG, but you know, NA and EU, just the jokes that I see on the Twitch chat is fucking hilarious about them two going back and forth between each other. So yeah, unfortunately NRG didn't stand a chance against Weibo. But you know, the fact that out of those quarterfinal teams, 3 LPL teams made it through and only 1 LCK team made it through, and that happened to be fucking T1. Now, I've been a fan of T1 since I really started following League, not just necessarily because they, you know, have Faker, who is arguably, you know, well, considered the GOAT. I mainly started following them because, you know, when it came to me watching League content, I got into League content through Tyler1, and Tyler1 being nicknamed T1. That's how I got into like fanning for T1. I'm like, oh, Tyler1, T1, oh, I'll follow T1 when it comes to like the internationals. So I obviously wanted to follow, you know, a Korean team because OCE, unfortunately, you know, because I live in Australia, doesn't do so well. And I wanted to follow another Asian team, and obviously, you know, got to go with Korea because, you know, they got the best teams, bro. Of course, you got to follow a Korean team, man. Like, as much as the LPL is, arguably overall the best league at the moment, the fact that they brought, 3 teams into the fucking semi-finals. Like, who was it? Was it? Oh man, who was it that bet Gen G? Like, I honestly thought that Gen G was going to make it fucking further. Oh, yeah, so it was BLG. Yeah, so BLG were the ones who beat Gen G. And I honestly, I thought that they were going to make it further. Like, the way that I saw, Gen G not dropping a game in the Swiss stage, which I don't really think they came up against, like, they did verse T1 in the Swiss stage, and they did beat them. And, like, I have to admit, the game, when I watched that game, I was just like, oh, man, this is not looking good for T1, like, at all during that Swiss stage game. But, like, quarterfinals, they were looking fucking good. And in the semi-finals up against JDG, then coming into this, like, especially from MSI, I was like, man, JDG's going to roll everyone. Like, I honestly thought, especially the way that they were looking in Swiss stage and the way that they looked in the quarterfinals against KT. Like, KT is a decent and solid third seed of the LCK, but it just seemed like JDG just fucking cleaned them up. So I was really scared when I knew that T1 had to come up against JDG. I was fucking terrified, man. But, man, the way that T1 played on the fucking weekend with all of Korea behind them in that stadium went fucking nuts. Caster June, when he introduced T1, and especially when he introduced fucking Faker, the crowd went ballistic, bro. And it was so good to see the crowd there, because, like, the day before, when it was just the 2 LPL teams, when it was Weibo versus BLG, man, that crowd was dead. There was no one there. There was literally half the stadium or arena or whatever it is that they were in was, like, half full. It was just, even though the crowd still got into it here and there, it just wasn't the same as if they had, like, a Korean team there. And seeing, that game with T1 was fucking amazing to watch. And now, Fake has made it into his 6th finals of Worlds. And I'd have to say, obviously, I feel like the general consensus when it comes to the greatest player of all time in League, a lot of people already say it's Faker. But I definitely feel like that, there are probably some people that say, oh, nah, a lot of people joke on him and shit on him, calling him Shaker all the fucking time, especially, they haven't had good recent, times ever since, they won the last Worlds in 2016. They've won here and there when it comes to, like, LCK. I'm not sure if they've actually won an MSI since 2016. I'm pretty sure they have, but, when it comes to the biggest stage, which is obviously Worlds, they haven't performed, getting 3-0'd in 2017 by, what was it, Samsung Galaxy or whatever the team was that Ruler himself was on. And, and then last year, and I watched that game, being up 2-1 and then losing to DRX 3-2. Their story was just kind of a Cinderella story. It just felt like almost fucking inevitable. But I feel like if Faker has to win this Worlds, he's definitely going to go down as the greatest player of all time. There is some people out there who haven't even won one Worlds title, and this man has won 3, and he's been going since what is it? Pretty much since SKT, like when T1 was SKT. He's been there pretty much since the fucking start, since like Korea started to come into the world, because I didn't even know this myself, but in the first Worlds, in the first ever Worlds, I think it was back in 2011, I'm pretty sure that the first Worlds ever, there was no Korean teams actually during that time. It wasn't until year 2 that Korean teams actually started to come through, and obviously, they are the ones who have dominated the sport this whole entire fucking time, since the time of them coming into the Pro League of League of Legends. And, I haven't really been a fan of, this that much, but fuck, man, it's made me just like wanting to look into everything a lot more. Like I've I might sound like I know a little bit more for someone who hasn't watched it for that long, because I've like, I look into all this stuff a lot, because I just really fucking enjoy watching Pro League World, especially when it comes to Worlds. It is so fucking enjoyable. It's so fun to fucking watch. So yeah, I definitely think that if T1 can pull off this win against Weibo Gaming, I would say that Faker would have to definitely solidify his spot as being the greatest League of Legends player ever. That play that he did against fucking Ruler, that basically helped send them, like, send them into the final was so fucking hype, man. And I didn't even know about like the play that Ruler did against Faker back in 2017 when, you know, when Galaxy ended up 3-0ing T1, you know, and it was like a Flash and Varus ult onto Faker, which CC hit him when he was playing, I think he was playing Karma at the time. And then, you know, after they were able to kill Faker, then, you know, Galaxy were just able to steamroll the rest of SKT, and then, you know, after that, Galaxy ended up finishing off the game off that fucking kill. So to see Faker pull off and it was a fucking unbelievable play. I'm not really like familiar that much with Azir, because like whenever I've played League in the past, I've noticed that Azir is a very like high level character. Like even I've talked about it to like a couple of my friends who've played League for a lot longer than I have. They've said that, you know, Azir is not seen a lot in your casual matches or even like a low elo, which I am definitely fucking in, because he's an extremely difficult character to master and to play altogether, which is why you only really see him in the Pro League. But that play that Faker did where he like came out of the jungle and I think he queued Ruler, because I remember it, but I can't like, it's hard to analyze it because like I said, I'm not familiar with his like abilities all that much. And then he queued him, and then I'm pretty sure he flashed behind him and then altered Ruler to CC him and push him back towards T1 that inevitably like led to that team fight. That was so fucking hype. Like Faker played so well. Like I have to give props to Carrier, because that man was 100% the MVP of this series. His Bard was insane. Like, man, this man like does not even need to play meta support. He can play fucking whatever. Like I loved when T1 pulled out the Jhin Bard in the fucking game 1. No one had played Jhin at all through the whole entire world, and Guma was just like, bro, we're pulling out the fucking Jhin and we're pulling out the Bard, and they just steamrolled JDG in that first fucking round. Owner, you know, going into with the Rel going into enemy junglers camps early on. Zeus just fucking dominating 369 in the fucking top lane, and obviously Faker just doing his thing in the mid lane. Obviously that second game, you know, wasn't really well. I don't think T1 got a very good start, but game 1, 3, and 4, like as much as I was nervous because I was a fan of T1, it really honestly like the early games, like in the early games, it always felt like JDG was ahead. But man, T1 just were able to stay composed the whole entire fucking time, and were just able to just get back on top. And their team fights were so fucking good. Man, I hope that T1 is able to pull off the victory against Weibo Gaming. You know, Weibo, even though they are the 4th seed in the LPL, you know, the Shy in that top lane. Like I watched the games against BLG, and the Shy in the top lane, man. Like, Zeus is going to have his work cut out, but I honestly think that he can fucking do it. Like, I reckon the Shy is the one that will be, like, will define if Weibo win or not. If T1 are able to shut down the Shy, I honestly think that T1 can pull out the victory. And if they pull out the victory, bro, 100% Faker has to be, like, without a fucking doubt, the GOAT. You know, no matter what happens to the rest of his fucking career, if he, I think his contract ends in 2025. So even if he fucking goes on and keeps playing for the rest of the year, and they don't even fucking make worlds, or they like don't get past Swiss stages if they keep Swiss stages or group stages, they just don't. He's the GOAT, 100%. Solidified as him as the greatest player of all time. Like, it probably, like, I already would consider him, and a lot of people else would consider him the greatest of all time, but I would definitely solidify him if they had to win this world. And I'm fucking pumped for this weekend. It's, you know, obviously I'm living in Australia, so we're very close, you know, in terms of the time zone for Korea. So we watch it here 7 p.m, which I'm pretty sure is actually the exact same time that it's over there. I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah, I think because I live in Melbourne, so I'm pretty sure it lines up perfectly with South Korea. So yeah, we watch it at 7 p.m. on Sunday, and I am so fucking pumped. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about, like, have you enjoyed this world so much? Like, are you the same as me? Do you like watching Pro League more than actually playing the fucking game? Because that's just 100% how I feel. Like definitely, I 100% enjoy watching it more than actually playing it, and I fucking have been loving this world so far, and I'm really pumped, and I hope, fingers crossed, that T1 can pull his victory off and solidify Faker as the GOAT. Because, man, it has been fun to watch so far. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. That's it from me. Peace out.